My brother Terence, he was a fun-loving lad. Everyone that knew him would all tell you the same thing. He loved life. He was just a complete another prankster and joker, and always loved to laugh. And every so often, he was always up to mischief, joke, as every other teenager would, just loving a laugh and loving a joke. That's the person he was. Just loved life.
And can you tell us something? Can you tell us what happened the night that he was found in a coma?
Well, the day that it happened, my brother, the night before, my brother had plans to redecorate his bedroom, and he was making preparations that night. And the following morning he was heading out to buy a paintbrush, but he stopped off to see some friends. And on that very same morning when he stopped off to see them, there was a lot of police came flying in, and Terence's first instinct was to run. Although he had no involvement in the car, at the theft of the car, his first instinct was to run, as anyone would. But eventually they arrested him, and there was a bit of a struggle. And when they were putting him into the back of the van, they banged his head off the door and put him straight into the van. So eventually he was brought down to Store Street Garda station. A couple of hours later, two guards appeared at my mother's door. Without any sort of, "May we come in, can you sit down, we've something to say to you," just bluntly told her to her face, "Your son hung himself." Bluntly told her that, and my mum just basically hit the floor. And so then they says, "We'll want to take you to the hospital, James's Hospital." And on their way to James's Hospital, we believe to this day that it's a delay tactic. They told my mum, they asked for directions to the hospital. Two grown men asking for directions to the hospital. Yeah. So while they went there, my dad and my brother went to the other hospital just making sure. And as they were outside the hospital, two guards, they spotted them coming out with Terence's bloody clothes inside the bag. And now for 16 years, with regards to those bloody clothes, we have been fighting to get those clothes back. We have only got those clothes back recently, but we believe that over a period of 16 years, any DNA or trace evidence or anything that was left on them would have deteriorated.
I think anyone who is in a situation at the hands of the Garda where they lose their lives, there should be answers, there should be a fully independent process. The Garda Commissioner, or the Garda GSOC, isn't an independent body. It's guards investigating guards. I think what we need is a fully independent inquiry here.
There was other suspicious things, like the cell that night was painted, wasn't it, as well? So yeah. Is that more, do you think, is more of the cover-up, or what do you think that was the reason?
Well, we believe as the part of the cover-up, as soon as Terence was taken from the hospital, or taken from the cell, there was a complete clean-out of the cell.
And this was at what time in the morning?
This was during the day. During the day, yeah. The day. It was later into that afternoon.
Yeah.
So they went in, as soon as he was brought to the hospital, there was a major clean-out of the cell. Everything was there was kind of like a diversionary tactic, bringing my mother to the wrong hospital. My brother would go to the other hospital, and that's where he found them coming out. So since then, we've been protesting and campaigning, because they need to know that we are not going away, because the suspicious circumstance, my brother was supposed to have hung himself inside that cell. But everyone that will tell you about my brother, anyone where we came from, knew my brother as a happy-go-lucky lad. Loved life, loved to live, and loved everything about life. He loved his friends, more importantly. And at the end of the day, it's just so many suspicious cover-ups involved in this. We call it the blue wall of silence, because every time we try to get close to somebody, the brick wall comes back up.
Yeah.
And every time we try to get the truest answers from it, we just keep chasing. We will chase as long as it takes until we get the answers for Terence.
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want?
Yes!
Thanks very much, Sam. Just one before we go, can you just tell people at home the different campaign, or where they can find out information on your campaign, whether it's Facebook or whether it's on Twitter?
Yeah, the campaign, if you want to follow up on the details of Terence's case and stuff like that, we install information up on the Justice for Terence Wheelock campaign on Facebook, #JFTW.